Hello world, I am Kruper with Future Tech Ideas, and let's talk tech. Have companies stopped innovating? It's an interesting question to ask, just like every other question I seem to ask lately, but it has a lot to it. There's a lot to this question. But it seems a lot of products these days, like phones, like smartphones, tablets, and so on, they've hit a stale point, especially with Apple. The design of their products has really been the same for the past 3 years or so with their products, and even the iPad. This from the iPad 2, the 3rd generation iPad, the 4th generation iPad, they look the same. They really do. Although it's a nice design, they've hit a stale point. The hardware, gets a little better each time, but honestly, it's pretty much all the same, just a little better each time. I think they could do a lot better in that aspect, and the biggest reason I ask this question is really when you think about it, these companies, instead of paying attention to their products, they started innovating in the courtroom, and that is very true for Apple. They stopped paying attention to their products, and they started paying attention, they really started innovating in the courtroom with better lawyers. Now, and the reason I say that is because when you look at Apple versus Samsung, basically it's kind of like this: oh, that product looks like mine, oh, that looks like mine, oh, but I'll sue you for that. And honestly, that was a totally stupid court case to begin with, or court cases to begin with. This looks like that looks like this. Honestly, most of the products didn't look similar. Like, some of them did, and granted, that's very true. And of course, when Jobs saying, oh, well, a great artist copies or whatever, something like that, I don't remember the quote. It doesn't really matter. The point is, they kind of said, oh, copying's okay. As soon as somebody did it, oh, I'm suing you. That was stupid. And that's when they really lost touch with their actual products. Instead of, paying attention, changing the design of these things, they've kept the same design of most of their products or improved it a little. Hardware-wise, they improved that a little too. But their hardware is still behind their competitors. They're not innovating. They're not making anything better than what everybody else is doing. No. What they're doing, instead of making something that's better than everyone else and what they're doing, no, they're doing the same thing. They're just copying what everyone else is doing. And sure, you could say that's business for you, but they really need to innovate. They need to make something that is better than what they already have, better, that blows every product out of the water. That's what they need to do. That would make the most sense for them to do, if they could make everything else look bad. They haven't done that. No. The iPhone 5 is smaller than every other, decent smartphone out there. The hardware, yeah, it's okay, fine, whatever. But honestly, you could go find an Android smartphone that has better specs, better this, better that, and probably for a cheaper price. So they're not innovating at all. They're too worried about companies copying this and copying that, and they're too busy in the courtroom to really pay any attention to their products whatsoever, which doesn't make too much sense, really. Like, honestly, if they really were to innovate and do something that the industry has never seen before, and honestly, yeah, you could say that's pretty hard, and I'll admit that. If they could do that, though, their sales would probably go, they would skyrocket. These people would want this. They'd see, oh, wow, that's amazing. I've never seen that before. Gee, I should get that. And, if that makes sense, great, But they need to make something stand out among the thousands and thousands and thousands of smartphones out there. Because honestly, the iPhone 5, when you look at the screen size, if somebody's looking for a bigger smartphone, it's at the bottom of the pile. Even hardware-wise, there are other phones that really beat it. And sure, oh, well, it's iOS, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, it really kept the same design cues. It looks nice, but come on, Apple, let's innovate. Let's do something that the industry has never seen before. And of course, Samsung, they're not doing that bad. They've really, instead of copying Apple, which they probably did for a few of their products, but not every single one of them, they're kind of moving away and they're going with their own design. Their UI and Android, they're going with their own design. Their products are going with their own unique design, which is good for Samsung, and I think that is a wonderful move for Samsung to create these own unique products, because unique stands out. And if it stands out, you're going to get people's attention, and people may buy. And that's a good thing. The only reason people buy Apple products is because they know them. And Steve Jobs is such a wonderful salesman, That's why. That's why people buy Apple products. First thing they think of, ooh, Apple, oh, gee, it must be good, oh, it's expensive, bought. And, Steve Jobs, he was a wonderful salesman for Apple, too. At those keynotes when he's speaking, the next day, or whenever they released a product, there's a line up a mile long at the Apple store. Why? Because he convinced people to buy. Of course, they don't have Steve Jobs anymore, so they're eventually going to lose that if they don't innovate. Innovation is key, but especially Apple has really lost touch with that, And they're more so innovating within courtrooms now, you know. They need to, you know, sue one company for this and sue one company for that and make money off that. I'm sorry, that's not the way. That's not the way they should be doing it. And I think it's a totally wrong direction for the company to go. And a few years ago, the Motorola Zoom, which is it's a 10-inch tablet that runs Android. It originally came with Android 3.0. Apple sued Motorola because it looked too much like the iPad. I'm sorry, it looks nothing like the iPad in any way, shape, or form. How that makes any sense, I don't know. I don't remember the outcome of that case, but either way, that was just stupid. How does that look anything like it? Once again, instead of innovating with their products and making something better and doing something that would have stood out, no. Instead, they sued them. That's just stupid. That's about all you can really say. Sure, Apple's innovated in the past. Sure, they came up with the iPhone. Technology's in it, though, where everything everybody else had done. They were the first to put a touchscreen in a phone or something like that. I don't remember. That was good for Apple, but it seems that's where the innovation kind of stopped. Like, phones before that had copy and paste. I think Samsung or something had something. So why couldn't Apple do that too? And why couldn't, like, Apple did do something that did stand out. But then they stopped there. It doesn't make any sense. Of course, they did a little bit of innovation in the iPhone 4 when they tried putting the antenna in that band around the phone. That failed for them. Although I don't know if the sales really hurt, but it kind of screwed the users up when they're holding the phone. Oh, dropped call, yay! I'm on an important phone call and gone. Phone call gone, yay! How many times that happened? Every time I want to call somebody, you know, and it's an important thing, beep, 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 drop call. You know? So that was kind of annoying, and then the way they addressed that issue was even worse, and then they came up with the iPhone 4S. That wasn't innovation at all, that was just slightly better. The iPhone 4S had no innovation in it whatsoever. The iPhone 5, the best iPhone ever, it's so innovative. It was a taller phone. And there's other phones bigger than it. Apple needs to, they need to make their phones bigger, of course, but they need to really think of something that's going to make it stand out in the crowd. Because you put a bunch of people together in a crowd, everybody blends in. But if that one person has something that stands out in the crowd, you'll see them. They need to do the same thing with phones. They need to make their iPhone stand out among the crowd of, you know, thousands and thousands of smartphones out there. Because right now the iPhone's kind of behind. It has been for quite some time. The technologies in the iPhone are behind. Its screen size is behind. Everything in the iPhone is behind. They need, even the operating system that runs on it is behind. They need to do something that makes it, you know, stand out. They need to redo that operating system on it. They need to do something that makes it just stand out. The iOS is great, but come on, we need change. Let's go, let's get change. They need to change it. And the way this is probably the most energy I've ever had in the video, but they need to change it. Because this innovation in the courtroom thing is just getting stupid, and you know, it's probably reached its peak last year, but who knows, they're gonna find something else new, and oh, we're suing you. No, that's not the way to do it. You need to innovate. If they have something that's better than yours, fine, make something that's better than theirs, let's go. Like, sure, like taking technologies from different, yeah, that's fine. But then, use that and make something a lot better. It would make more sense. I don't see how that doesn't make any sense. But the bottom line is, companies need to innovate. They need to make something that stands out. And it's not just Apple either. It's a lot of companies. But especially Apple. Because they were in the news a lot, and I'm sure you heard a lot about them. They need to find something that is very innovative. They need to make something that stands out in the crowd. And if it stands out and it's really good, it's not just crap that stands out. It needs to be something good, it needs to be of high quality, and it stands out. Then people will be interested in it. Their sales will go up. That's what they need to do. The funny thing about what happened with Apple and Samsung is the fact that Samsung made hardware for Apple. So it doesn't make any sense. They made a lot of hardware for products like the iPad and all that, and then Apple goes ahead and sues them. Oh gee, they're making hardware for us. I wonder how we can thank them. Let's go sue them! Not quite. That shouldn't be what they did. Like, honestly, that didn't make much sense to begin with. Like, obviously they've moved away from Samsung for being, you know, a company that makes a lot of their hardware, and LG now makes the screen in the iPad. Previously it was Samsung. And Motorola, I don't know if they had any partnerships in the past or anything like that, but Apple really went on a suing spree. It didn't make any sense. I think they could have made more money if they would have innovated. Every company needs to really think, how can we make our products stand out? What can we make? What can we put in our products to make them stand out? If you can do that, and you stop innovating in the courtroom, they'll get somewhere. And that's true for any company. You know, if there was no innovation, we wouldn't have any of this technology to begin with. So there's been innovation in the past. We just need to keep up with it. That's what needs to be done. As long as we keep up with that innovation, we make our products better instead of just copying one another, these companies will get somewhere. We will have amazing products if we do. It's really about all I got to say about it. What's your opinion on it? Let me know down below. Let us know, actually, down below in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, Future Tech Ideas. Follow me on Twitter at CK270. Follow at Future Tech Ideas on Twitter as well. And make sure to check out futuretechideas.com as well. Check out the forum that's there. It's a great website. We got some articles and stuff up there. Make sure to check that site out because, well, it is a great website. Make sure to go check that out. And that's really about it for this video. Make sure to share this video as well because sharing really helps out this channel. We're up to, I don't know, 30 subscribers or something like that, I believe. We can get that even further by sharing these videos as well. Subscribing if you haven't subscribed already. If you share these videos, other people will definitely find them, see our content, and hopefully if they like our content, they'll hit that subscribe button as well. That's what we need. Sharing is probably one of the most important things you can do to help out, so make sure to do that. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.